So I'll start our presentation, mineral nutrition. And the as a student of biology, we know that the life of any living organism, it is directly related with the food material, isn't it? Whenever, if you look at life cycle of any organism, whether it may be a small bacteria or a big tree or any fungus, anything, it is directly associated with the food material. Now, actually, from where they get food? They get food from outside. Some they get from outside, and some they can prepare their own food material. So, the living organisms which are getting food from outside, the living organisms which are getting food from outside, we call it as nutrition. Okay, we call it as nutrition. And in nature, there are two types of organisms. The organisms which require nutrition in the form of inorganic elements. These organisms are called as autotrophs. Autotrophs are the organisms which can synthesize their own food material. In other words, we call them as self-feeding plants or self-feeding organisms. So these type of organisms, they require nutrition from outside in the form of inorganic elements and not in the form of organic thing, not in the form of organic elements. What does it mean? Just think, what are the organic things? Organic things are proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, fats, etc. So autotrophs, they don't need carbohydrates from outside because they can synthesize their organic things. The only need is inorganic things are to be supplied. So there are two type of organisms. One which need inorganic things from outside. Second type of organisms, we call them as heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are the organisms which require organic as well as inorganic elements from outside because they cannot synthesize their own food material, and hence they are non-green plants. And in addition to that, animals also come into this category because they cannot synthesize their own food material. So two types of organisms are there. Autotrophs, they require only inorganic things from outside. Heterotrophs, they require both organic as well as inorganic things from outside. So these are the two types of organisms where we are learning, we are coming to the topic. So I told you that what is meant by this nutrition. So basically, nutrition is the mineral elements. So here the plants require mineral elements from outside: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sodium, potassium, phosphorus, etc. etc. From where they are getting all these mineral elements? They are getting mineral elements from the soil. So we call that soil as a source. We call soil as a source. Source of what? Source of nutrition. Soil is a source of mineral elements. So all the inorganic requirements which are needed by the plant, they are supplied from the soil. So this kind of nutrition is called as the mineral nutrition. Food material in the form of minerals, food material in the form of inorganic elements is nothing but mineral nutrition. In this image, you can see that a root is in association with so many elements. Different kind of animals are present, elements are present in the soil. So zinc, magnesium, copper, potassium, iron, manganese, boron, calcium, cobalt, isn't it? Nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, molybdenum, all these are the minerals which are present in the soil. So let us once again say what is meant by nutrition. Nutrition is the living organisms require supply of large number of substances from outside to complete their life cycle. Now, for what purpose they need these mineral nutrients? These mineral nutrients are needed by the plant in order to complete their life cycle. And this supply is called as the nutrition. Now, once these minerals are absorbed, what happens? Once they are absorbed, they have to be distributed. They have to be distributed. And what happens to these minerals? There is a different kind of metabolic processes happening to them inside the plant. We call it as metabolism of inorganic substances. Okay. Now, I told you that all these nutrients are needed by the plant in order to carry on their life cycle. Now, what is meant by this life cycle? Life cycle contains growth of the plant, development of the plant, structure of the plant, physiology of the plant, reproduction of the plant. Mineral nutrition is concerned with all these things. Growth. A seed has to germinate. A seed has to produce a seedling, isn't it? Development. Not only growth, but it has to establish leaves. It has to establish xylem. It has to establish elongation region. This is called as development. Structure. Structure of leaf, structure of a flower, structure of a stem. Different things has to be developed by the plant. Structure has to develop. A particular plant species is having its own structure. Whether it is a lichen, whether it is a fungus, whether it is a plant, whether it is a gymnosperm, a structure, a proper structure has to be developed. So why the mineral is needed? Minerals are needed for all these things. Growth has to take place. Development has to take place. Structure has to be established. Physiology has to be maintained. Now, for what purpose minerals are needed? Physiology has to occur. What do you mean by physiological process? Respiration, metabolism, catabolic actions, anabolic actions, photosynthesis, water absorption, translocation. What is this? All these are the physiological processes which are naturally happening in the plant, and without minerals, these can't happen. Photosynthesis can't be processed. Respiration has to be processed. And all these things are due to minerals only. We call it as a food. Then the last thing is minerals are needed for reproduction. So whenever we are talking about reproduction, just imagine the reproduction which is happening in the plants. Concentrate on the reproductive organ, which is flower. So inside the flower, all the male gametes, female gametes, androecium, gynoecium, calyx, petals, etc., all these has to be developed. And it is seen that these minerals helps to produce flowers. Why nutrition is needed? Nutrition is needed for reproduction, in order to produce next generation, in order to complete the double fertilization in the plants. It has to be supplied with the minerals. Now, the thing comes, who has discovered this mineral nutrition? Who has first studied nutrition of plants? The answer is Van Helmont. In 1648, he has described the mineral nutrition. He observed that within 5 years of time duration, soil has lost near about 56.7 grams Try to understand. Within a duration of 5 years, he observed that the soil has lost near about 56.7 grams. And for what purpose this grams of soil is used? This is used for nourishment of a young seedling into a small tree. In order to develop a young seedling into a large tree, lot of soil has to be absorbed. Soil, in the sense, the minerals from the soil has to be absorbed. So he found that within a 5 years of duration, near about 56.7 grams has been lost. Now coming to the importance here. Now why we should learn major elements? Why we should learn minor elements? What is the use? The answer is due to it is indispensable for growth of plants. They are directly involved in the nutrition of plants, and they become component of structural or functional molecule. Now, just think, all the mineral elements are getting into the plant. For what purpose? What is the function? What is the importance? They are becoming a part of structure. They are becoming a part of function, and the plant is unable to grow if there is no nutrition. In order to complete its vegetative reproduction, in order to complete its sexual reproduction, a plant has to absorb the elements. So in absence of elements, you can't see flower production. You can't see next generation formation. So that's why the elements are necessary. Okay. And due to the absence of these minerals, several disorders are produced in the plant. If there are no minerals, what will happen? Several disorders are formed in the plant. What do you mean by disorder? Disorder means any alteration in the normal growth, isn't it? What do you mean by if a person is suffering from disorder, what we say? He is not normal. We call him as abnormal person. Like that, any change in the normal metabolism of the plant, it leads to abnormality, which is called as disorder. So if minerals are not supplied in a proper manner, if a minerals are not supplied to the plant, if it is not getting proper nutrients, what will happen? There will be development of disorders. So in this chapter, we are going to learn the source, deficiency symptom, and their functions. Now by this small image, you can understand that every part of the plant has to be in association with the minerals. A lot of minerals are associated with the roots. Lot of minerals are in the plant. In the aerial part of the plant, they are present. In the geotropic portion also, they are present. So there is a question. Does all plants have same minerals? Suppose if I give you an osmum plant and just take a Azadirachta indica plant from your area and compare what type of elements are present in the osmum, what type of elements are present in a neem tree, you will come to know that there is a lot of difference. So question is, does all the plants, they have same minerals? The answer is no. They differ. They differ from species to species. They differ from area to area. They differ from one country to another country also. Depends upon the soil, what type of soil they are growing in. So all plants, they don't have same minerals. They can differ. It is come to know that near about 92 elements are estimated. One general analysis has been done. Okay, Baba, how many elements may be present in a plant? It came to know that near about 92 types of elements can be found in a single plant. And out of all the minerals, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen are found in a bulk amount. What do you mean by bulk amount? In a large quantity. Which elements are found in a large quantity? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. These elements are called as framework elements. These elements are called as framework elements. What do you mean by frame? For example, if we have to construct a building, first of all, we have to form the pillars, isn't it? So what are these pillars? These pillars are, they are giving strength. They are acting as a frame for building construction. Like that, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, they are called as framework elements in order to build any structure, of a plant or a plant organ or a plant part, etc. So coming to the next point, question is what they do and where they go. Talking about mineral elements, they are useful in the fat synthesis. They are useful in the protein synthesis. Mineral elements, where they go? Once they are getting entry into the plant, where they go? They are present in the fats, proteins, carbohydrates, cellulose. They are present in the lignin. They are present in the calcium pectate. They are found in the nucleic acids. They are found in the proteins. They are found in the catalytic reactions. Okay. Iron, especially iron, copper, zinc, manganese, these are helpful in the catalytic reactions. So this is to know what is the use of these mineral nutrients. Now, how much amount is needed? Whether it is 1 gram, 2 gram, whether it is microgram, whether it is milligram, how much amount is needed? Generally, depending upon the requirement, mineral elements are classified into two categories. First category is called as micronutrients. In your syllabus, it is written as minor elements. Minor elements यानी micronutrients. Major elements यानी macronutrients. The nutrients which are needed by the plant in a large quantity, they are called as macronutrients or major elements. And the minerals which are needed by the plant in a very trace quantity. Trace means very small. And these are called as micronutrients. कौन से micronutrients है? For example, iron, manganese, copper, molybdenum, okay, boron, chlorine, ये सब क्या है? Micronutrients है. Now these are required by the plant in a very trace amount. कितना? 0.5 ppm से लेके 0.001 parts per million. इतना कम चाहिए, लेकिन चाहिए, कम चाहिए लेकिन चाहिए, इसीलिए इनको माइक्रो एलिमेंट्स कहा गया है. What happens if micro elements are given in a large amount? What happens if micro elements are given in a large amount? There will be cause of death. There will be cause of death. So if quantity exceeds, what happens? If quantity exceeds, the plant can die. तो ये है इम्पोर्टेंस. माइक्रो एलिमेंट यानी क्या, मैक्रो एलिमेंट यानी क्या, ये मैंने आपको यहाँ पे बताया है. सो स्टूडेंट्स, मैक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स वी विल स्टार्ट नाउ. मैक्रो, MACRO, इसका मतलब है मेजर. इसका मतलब है द प्लांट which require elements in a large quantity. They are called as the macro elements. Now coming to the macro elements, the first element we'll take into consideration is nitrogen. What is the source of nitrogen? Source of nitrogen is soil. Nitrogen is present in the soil in the form of nitrate. The main microorganisms which convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrate are blue-green algae or some bacteria. What do? They convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrate. So what is the source of nitrogen for plants? Source of nitrogen for plants is nitrate. What are the bacteria? Azotobacter bacteria, Rhizobium. These are the important bacteria which are helpful for conversion of nitrogen into nitrate. We know that the nitrogen content which is present in the atmosphere is very much high. Near about 71% of the atmosphere, it contains nitrogen. But it is not useful for the plants. So conversion is necessary. What is the function of this nitrogen? Without nitrogen, protein synthesis cannot happen. Without nitrogen, nucleic acid synthesis cannot happen. It is also seen that some organic molecules are not synthesized without nitrogen, and chlorophyll synthesis also can't happen without nitrogen. इसका मतलब क्या है? नाइट्रोजन क्यों जरूरी होता है प्लांट के लिए? नाइट्रोजन प्रोटीन सिंथेसाइज करने के लिए चाहिए, न्यूक्लिक एसिड सिंथेसाइज करने के लिए चाहिए, ऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल्स तैयार होने के लिए चाहिए, क्लोरोफिल सिंथेसाइज होने के लिए चाहिए. What do you mean by proteins? You know proteins which are all made up of amino acids. What are nucleic acids? RNA, DNA, isn't it? DNA तैयार करने के लिए नाइट्रोजन चाहिए, RNA तैयार करने के लिए नाइट्रोजन चाहिए, डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल्स तैयार करने के लिए चाहिए. ऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल्स, कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स, प्रोटीन्स, फैट्स, अलग अलग तरह के कंपाउंड्स. क्लोरोफिल सिंथेसाइज करने के लिए भी नाइट्रोजन चाहिए. तो यहाँ पे डेफिशिएंसी अगर है नाइट्रोजन का तो क्या होगा? सी हियर, द प्लांट्स they become thin. With the help of image you can see that this is a difference. If nitrogen is present, if nitrogen is absent, what happens? Poorly developed plants can be seen. The plants, they show very stunted growth. Shoots, they become very short. Height of the plants, it gets affected. Not only this, but leaves, they become pale yellow as compared to the normal plant. There will be a reduction in the flowering and fruiting. Ultimately, if there is no flowering, there will be no fruiting. So these are all the deficiency symptoms. And these plants, affected plants, they show lengthy roots. What do you mean by lengthy roots? Normal length से ज़्यादा length आपको दिखाई देगा. कहाँ पे? Roots में. कहाँ? जहाँ पे nitrogen deficiency है वहाँ पे. And the leaves, they become erect. Example, tomato plant, potato plant, all different type of cereals, etc. So this is about the deficiency symptom. What happens if nitrogen is not there? What happens if nitrogen is not present in a proper amount? अगर लेस अमाउंट में है तो क्या होगा? यहाँ पे हम देख सकते हैं. This is one of the photograph where we can see chlorosis due to nitrogen deficiency. What mean by chlorosis? यहाँ पे मैंने आपको बताया कि नाइट्रोजन क्यों जरूरी है. नाइट्रोजन जरूरी है क्लोरोफिल सिंथेसिस के लिए. तो अगर क्लोरोफिल नहीं है तो क्या होगा? क्लोरोसिस होगा. What do you mean by chlorosis? Chlorosis means loss of chlorophyll. क्लोरोफिल, क्लोरोसिस यानी क्या? लॉस ऑफ क्लोरोफिल. तो अगर क्लोरोफिल नहीं है तो क्लोरोसिस होगा. ये है उसका इफेक्ट. सो दिस इज अबाउट नाइट्रोजन source, then what is the function of nitrogen, and what are the deficiency symptoms of nitrogen with a example. I hope you are getting my explanation. Now I'll start the second element, sulfur. Sulfur, it is present in the soil in the form of sulfate. In the form of sulfate. Students, are you there? आप लोग है?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ये बीच में मैं कार्टून बता रही हूँ तुमको, ये पढ़ो. Where did she get such good lecture notes? पूछ रहा है. तो she is able to listen to the professor. जो अच्छे से सुनेगा वह अच्छे से नोट्स बना पाएगा, है कि नहीं? स्टूडेंट्स, अब हम आते हैं सल्फर की तरफ. सल्फर सोर्स क्या है? सॉइल. एंड फंक्शन, व्हाट आर द फंक्शंस ऑफ सल्फर? इट इज ए कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट ऑफ अमाइनो एसिड. कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट यानी क्या? एक भाग है किसका? अमाइनो एसिड का. अमाइनो एसिड में जिस तरह से NH3 होता है उसी तरह से सल्फर कॉम्पाउंड्स भी होते हैं. सल्फर जरूरी है विटामिन बी के लिए. सल्फर जरूरी है विटामिन बी के लिए. स्टूडेंट्स, यहाँ पे मैं आपको एक बताऊं, जिस तरह से हर एक एलिमेंट प्लांट्स के लिए चाहिए उसी तरह से हर एक मिनरल जो है ह्यूमन बींग्स के लिए भी चाहिए, हमारे लिए भी चाहिए. तो जिस तरह से हर एक एलिमेंट का एक फंक्शन होता है उसी तरह से ह्यूमन बॉडी में भी हर एक मिनरल का एक काम होता है. हर एक मिनरल बॉडी के इम्यूनिटी डेवलपमेंट के लिए चाहिए. तो सल्फर, सल्फर कहाँ पे चाहिए? अमाइनो एसिड के कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट. इट इज अ पार्ट, इट इज ए कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट ऑफ अमाइनो एसिड. इट इज नेसेसरी फॉर विटामिन बी सिंथेसिस. कोएंजाइम ए, वोलेटाइल ऑयल, इसमें सल्फर होता है. वोलेटाइल ऑयल यानी क्या? विच इवापोरेट्स, इजंट इट? यू नो केमिस्ट्री. सो जहाँ पे वोलेटाइल नेचर है वहां पे सल्फर होता है. और कोएंजाइम एक्टिविटी, कोएंजाइम ए, ये आप अगले यूनिट में, सॉरी अगले यूनिट में नहीं, अगले सेमेस्टर में डिटेल में आप पढ़ोगे कोएंजाइम ए के लिए. सो यहाँ पे व्हाट इज सल्फर? सल्फर फंक्शन इज, इट इज वेरी मच यूजफुल एज एन ऑर्डर फॉर क्रूसिफरस प्लांट्स. क्रूसिफरस प्लांट्स फॉर एग्जांपल गार्लिक है, ऑनियन है, इसका जो ऑर्डर होता है वो किस वजह से होता है? इसका जो ऑर्डर होता है वो सल्फर की वजह से होता है, isn't it? When you just cut a garlic, when you cut the onion, you will get an order. That is due to sulfur. Okay. So, sulfur is also useful in nodule formation. Now, what do you mean by nodule formation? Nodule formation means leguminous roots के ऊपर आपने देखा होगा कि बहुत सारे छोटे छोटे pink dot like thick structures होते हैं. Those are nodules. So, nodules बनने के लिए सल्फर चाहिए प्लांट्स को. और ये परसेंटेज डिफर हो सकता है. इन सम प्लांट्स सल्फर इट में डिफर. नोडल फॉर्मेशन अगर कम ज्यादा है इसका मतलब सल्फर वहां पे कम ज्यादा है. एंड द लास्ट वन इज इट अफेक्ट्स द क्लोरोफिल सिंथेसिस. जस्ट आई हैव टोल्ड यू what happens if there is a deficiency of sulfur. Number 1, leaf size it decreases. Number 2, पिगमेंटेशन कैन बी seen. ये देखो यहाँ पे नॉर्मल ग्रीन लीफ में क्या हो गया? पूरा मार्जिन जो है आपको यहाँ पे कलर्ड मार्जिन दिखाई दे रहा है, पर्पल कलर दिखाई दे रहा है. नेक्रोसिस ऑफ यंग लीव्स होगा. याद रखो स्टूडेंट्स, व्हाट इज नेक्रोसिस? नेक्रोसिस मींस डेथ ऑफ सेल. नेक्रोसिस का मतलब क्या है? डेथ ऑफ सेल. एक रफ नोटबुक साथ में रखते जाओ, एक्सप्लेनेशन करते करते जो भी पॉइंट्स आपको नए लगे आप नोट डाउन करते जाओ. Margins tips they show necrosis. There will be shortening of internodes and there will be premature development of lateral buds. So here you can see in the image there is a lot of difference if there is a deficiency of sulfur.